may have just cut out. Am I here? I'm here. Okay, I'm here. My internet just cut out for a second. That was really scary there. The countdown clock got to like 2, and then my computer just froze. So,
It just stopped the timer. Yeah.
oh, that was scary. Whoo, I thought we lost internet for a second. Okay. Hey, everyone. Long time no see. Spencer Israel, Mitch Hoch, Ryan Faloona. What's going on, guys?
What's going on? Wave hi to Luke. Wave hi to Luke back there, too.
What? Oh, Jesus. You scared the bejesus.
Lukey Luke.
What's up, man?
The best part about that is while the countdown was going down and it was going to freeze for Spencer, I was trying to freak him out by getting up and getting out a picture. And as soon as it came live, he just cut me out of the whole damn thing.
Spencer got no timing on that. He
wait,
cut you right quick.
Luke is reminding me that he made a YOLO options trade on Didi on Friday. You want to talk about it right now?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Throw the headset on, Luke. Come talk about it.
Let's go. YOLO trades. Here we go.
YOLO
in the morning.
YOLO.
Yep. YOLO trade on Friday. Sleep deprived trade. We bought way out of the money DD calls. Get ton of them for basically nothing.
Jesus,
stock hits.
How out of the money?
Rumor. They were at 10 when the stock was at 7. So
that's how you do
out
it.
Of money.
Oh man,
you selling out today?
Spencer Israel is not approving.
No. I told. What did I say at the time? I don't remember what I said, but I did not approve. I did not approve.
Well,
that's when you know
Luke,
you take the
thankfully,
trade.
you don't need Spencer's approval, Luke. Time for you to go pick up a brand new McLaren. Get that Diet Coke right in that cup holder, baby.
All right, have fun, guys.
You can go Red Bull today, Luke. You don't got to go on the cheap energy drink.
I'll tell him that.
Go Red Bull.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, guys. Good morning. Let's go around the room here. Ryan, we'll start with you. I did see you get up from your desk, and I freaked out for a second. So everyone's trying to mess with me here today. Ryan, what are you watching? What's on your radar?
So I did the exact same thing I've been doing. I actually set up a workspace. It's a little bit easier to see this when we're going through here. I'm basically going to come up with a watch list every morning that I'm going to put in the upper left so we can kind of monitor how those stocks are going. And then we're going to use the movers tool before the market opens to kind of get an idea of those gappers. Here's Didi from that huge trade that Luke made. And then during the actual session, I'm going to go ahead and call out what I see on the scanner and what I see on FinTwit in terms of hot plays. As far as what I'm watching here before the open, I got 5 micro caps here. I got Acer Therapeutics. This is not the computer company, as a pre-revenue bio company. COCP, NAOV, which has been a repeat kind of trader for us. DD, because it's having a monster day. And then Lending Club, which is up on a monster earnings beat. So these are going to be the 5 I'm going to watch right around the open. But I don't have huge conviction on all of these. So I'm going to be looking for other plays off of our scanner for you today.
All right.
Supposedly, guys, I'm Chris Rock.
All right.
When Money Mitch speaks and I close my eyes, I sometimes hear Chris Rock.
I think that's a
weird
compliment. I like that.
Jeez, wait, can we? Oh my goodness. Wait,
no, we're not staying on topic today.
Spencer. No. This is the second day in a row this has happened to me. It's not to me. Second day in a row that
come on,
I've missed Matt Miller. I've missed.
You know what, Matt Miller? I think Spencer owes you a refund.
Matt Miller, this is the second 2 days in a row this has happened to you. Okay, Matt Miller asked about Infinity Pharmaceuticals, INFI, right? That's
I already know what it is.
INFI. Matt, I wrote it down. See, I remembered that because I wrote it down. Okay, Infinity had a bunch of headlines in the last couple of days. I think they had some drug news out. Yeah, they did. They had drug news out on Tuesday morning. They had some positive phase 2 data. And this is related to breast cancer, I believe. So you had some follow-through action yesterday. Hold on a second. Let me. I'm trying to read the Benzinga Pro and look at the chart. So,
well, Spencer, while you do that and catch up on that, remember INFI was on my list of stocks to trade yesterday at the open, and if you take a look at the volume, you'll immediately understand why that was the case. So it looks like we also got an overweight analyst rating today from Wells Fargo, going from 4 to 14 on the price target and equal weight to overweight.
Yesterday, yeah. So anyway,
excuse me. Yesterday, I'm sorry.
So let me clarify what this trial was. It was an update on 2 trials, actually. They had 49 patients enrolled in the study as a combo therapy with Opdivo, which is from Bristol Myers, with regards to bladder and breast cancers. at year one, at the 1 year mark, 59 of patients in the study receiving the combo were alive, compared to 32% in the control arm. It seemed like good data, but I'm not really. It's unclear to me why the market reacted the way it did on, I guess, on Tuesday morning. But it's very encouraging to see the stock bounce the way it has. Clearly, Wells Fargo likes it. As Ryan Faloona just said, they upgraded the stock to overweight, and they raised their price target to $14. $14 for a $2 stock. That's a big increase.
Indeed.
Yeah. So
and really quickly, just to address Matt's second comment here, what do you think about their buyout, Matt? I think what you're referring to is this makes them a potential buyout target. Did I get that right? I don't want to speak for you. That's what it seemed. I'm not aware of any actual buyout, but it seems to me that some of this data might make them more intriguing for a merger or acquisition.
For sure. And, especially when when smaller companies like this are working with larger ones in like Bristol Myers, it gets the imagination going a little bit, right? It certainly makes it seem like it can make more sense since they're already working together. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying you could see it happening. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Matt. I don't know anything about buyout rumors with regards to this company, but I hope.
Yeah. So Matt's clarifying that for us here. I heard that Merck was possibly a buyout next week.
Whoa.
So okay, so that sounds like a rumor. I don't have any other type of information on that. What I will say is that when companies release data like this, that's often very, very positive. Sometimes that makes them more of a target for an acquisition. Well, that's the best I can give you at this point.
With regards to Merck, I mean, they had earnings this morning, so wouldn't they have said something this morning?
I think that what he's saying though is that Merck is the possible target to buy this out. Maybe I'm mixing it up. I'm trying to go off of what he's saying.
Wouldn't Merck have? I mean, unless any hypothetical deal is not done yet. But I don't know. We don't know, Matt.
Yeah, it's a rumor. It's a rumor.
It's a rumor. Okay, let's go back. This is my screen here. Let's go back to. No, this is Ryan's screen. Our screens are identical. That's weird. All right, let's go back to Ryan's screen here and look at his. What, you got the movers tool open? That's what you got.
Yep. And so just so you can get an idea of the settings, these are the ones that I use. This is my bread and butter before the market opens. This is always going to show me what the biggest gap stocks are. And I'm going to be able to figure out if the volume is going there, where people are going in that first 15 minutes. And then I'm trying to make some sense out of that. So one of the other stocks I mentioned was Lending Club. You can see this is up really nicely on a nice Q2 EPS beat and raised guidance. So we're going to be watching that too. This actually has the potential to kind of run today. So I'm not in it yet. I'm going to be looking for something like that. Really, you're going to need a day high break here at 24.89 to really kind of send this.
The Lending Club thing, I'm glad you brought that up because I talked about it for like a second on pre-market prep. The numbers were ridiculously good. So let me just give you the numbers for LC. They were expected to lose 43 cents a share last quarter. They actually made 9 cents a share. Sales were expected to be 134 million. Actually, they were 204. So they blew it away on the backward-looking EPS and the sales, and they actually raised their guidance as well for Q3. I was going through the conference call transcript. I didn't realize this, but I guess like the entire business has pivoted. They have entirely new income streams now that they didn't have before, right? They have a net interest income revenue stream. I guess they're more of a bank. I didn't realize that they were like a bank now, but apparently they are.
Club of the lending, man. The club of the lending.
This is not the Lending Club of old. This is like a new business, right? They have banking. They offer banking. I guess they have a bank charter. I had no idea. I don't follow the story closely. So anyway, Lending Club clearly catching Wall Street off guard because this stock is ripping.
I really appreciate that, Spencer, because my plan here was just looking at some of these technicals. I like EPS beats as catalysts because obviously they're fundamental to the company. It tells you the company's doing well. So when I see this, I'm more inclined to play these plays because there's a catalyst, but I actually really appreciate that color there. Yeah. If you're saying this is effectively a new company, sky's the limit, my man.
I mean, that's what it sounded like from the transcript is they have an entirely new business, which I didn't know. And Lending Club has, if you zoom out, Lending Club has not been, by no means has it been a darling. If you go far enough back on the weekly, let me show you the weekly chart here. Lending Club, right? When you look at
it looks like a big hook.
Yeah, it's not just them. It's also like Lending Tree for that matter, right? It's like look at Tree. Actually, no, that's not quite the same. Last few years have been rough, but yeah, I just totally caught me off guard with the Lending Club thing. That's number one on my movers tool this morning on my gainers tool. Number one is Lending Club. Number two is DD. Yeah, we talked about that this morning. I don't know if you guys saw DD or the rest of China. China's moving. They're buying the dip on all of that here. Last day or two. So, what else? What am I watching this morning? I'm also watching Activision. I do still have that trade on. And look, I will stop myself out at $84 in ATVI.
Did you play the bounce, Spencer? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're long ATVI. So yesterday was actually a pretty good day for you.
Well, it wasn't like I caught it at the open or anything. I didn't. So,
gotcha.
But the level to sell is 84 for me. So
okay,
that's where I'll stop myself out at. And again, playing this thing to buy the dip back to 91.
What about the Robinhood IPO?
I have the Robinhood app, but I don't actually have any money in that account. So I'm not a user. I don't know if you guys have accounts at Robinhood. I don't intend to buy this thing.
Me either.
Could, but I don't want to.
I'm not morally opposed to it or anything. It's not like some moral stance. I just it doesn't really interest me. Maybe more than that, I really would just rather wait. I would just rather wait and see because we really don't know. There's never been an IPO like this where they've allocated so much of their float to their own users, retail investors, right? Don't know what that's going to mean for the stock, right? So I'd rather just wait and see what happens. I'd rather not be stuck with this thing for 30 days, like the people are who are buying the IPO.
I don't blame you on that at all. Real quick, I'm just going through some of the comments here. Trent, Ryan, I really appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you too. Thanks for being here. Not for anything financial, but for who you are as a person. I'll take that, man. That's one of the nicest things I've heard all week. Thank you very much, Trent.
What does it even mean? No, yeah, I'm not like morally opposed to the company or the stock. It's just a giant unknown right now, and so sit on hands. But I'm very, very curious to see what I have.
Yeah, I'm curious to see it too. I'm curious to see what it behaves like when it opens. I think more than anything else.
And then on the roadshow on Sunday, they said they were asked about expanding into other services and allowing people to open Roth IRAs. And Vlad was like, "Yeah, we definitely want to do that." So that's interesting. We probably won't know for a couple hours about that. But the IPO price is 32, so hopefully they open while we're still on the air here. That being said, there's your bell. Let's bring on Ryan's screen here and see what he is doing with his life.
So Acer here right through the support that I had. So I'm actually going to wait for that to firm up here. No trade on Acer. Kind of in no man's land here on COCP. I'd really like to see this come in towards 128. NAOV is the one that I'm the most interested in, I would say here. Break at 281 might send it here. Kind of watching that for right now. Don't see anything else crazy out the open. Apple obviously gapping down a little bit. Looks like buyers are stepping in there. We'll see if that materializes through the rest of the day here. But yeah, looks like a fairly mundane opening. Just kind of like not a whole lot of craziness going on. Trading up a little bit here.
Okay, I'm watching Sava. I know they have data. I do today, but I don't think it's out yet. They're supposed to have data. They're supposed to release data today. Cassava Sciences is SAVA, and I have not seen it. This is phase 2 data for their Alzheimer's drug, and I mentioned this a few days ago. But there is this 4-day Alzheimer's conference going on, and the conference ends today, I believe, and Sava has data due today. So the stock is super volatile this morning, ripping higher from the open, but I have not yet seen what the data is. So it's impossible to say, other than the fact that the streets leaning into it a little bit here.
So real quick update here. We got a nice little 8-cent push on NAOV off that 281 break when we snapped above that. Not in this. Not sure it's going to keep going. Kind of want to watch it here. We also want to watch Acer through 3. I think again, if we were able to come back here and kind of hold this level here, I think a push through 3 here might actually be tradable. So that's kind of what I'm watching out of the gate right now.
Wow. I didn't realize if you go look at Sava, if you zoom away, this is not actionable. This is just fun. Sava opened for trading 21 years ago at $101. So if you bought this thing, you got your money back finally, 21 years later. I don't know. I didn't realize Sava was been around that long. Anyway, going back to my movers tool, my scanner? What jumps? Whoa, a lot of movers here. Holy cow. Okay. Any tickers? Juniper. They had earnings. We didn't talk about that. JNPR moving at the open here. Moving higher. Yeah. Not so much with the rest of the space. Just Juniper. What else we got? MXL. Max Linear. They had earnings as well, blasting higher here at the open. This is my scanner tool on the right that I'm using.
Long Acer through 3 here. So we'll see how high this goes. I'm looking for a dime. Be happy with a dime to get out here. If it doesn't look like it's going to hold, I'll probably cut it a little early here. There's a good push on Acer. There we go. All right, all out on Acer. Real quick trade right there. Nice. That plan worked out perfectly. Looks like it came back in here, but that nice. Got some green on the screen to start off a day. That's my favorite. That is my favorite. Acer through 3. Nice job.
We need to celebrate you.
Mitch was telling me the other day that when I hit a real big one, I have to pump iron here. So that's something to keep an eye on. This was just a plate liquor trade. This was 2,000 shares of a $3 stock. That's not much, just a couple $100.
Ryan, remind me, are you long Ford or is that somebody else?
No, that's Mike Rao. I here's the thing though, Spence. I am bullish on Ford with no position right now. I actually think 5 to 10 years Ford could be your EV leader. But I believe Mike Rao is long a bunch of Ford.
Mike Rao is long a bunch of banks and automakers. Good luck. No, seriously. Ford, I was not feeling good into the report because I figured the whole thing would just be semi shortages, right? Chip shortages.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Wall Street likes it too. I mean, it's up 22 cents here, right? That's good enough for now it's up 75 cents. So it's up 5% here. But a surprising reaction to me because I thought it'd be a pretty downbeat report, but it seems to be like what you're saying, Ryan. The expectations are everyone's looking 2 to 3 years out, and they're saying forget the shortages right now. It's all about
that's the thesis here, right? That's the Ford trade, right? It's not for the right now, so we're hoping in the future that this whole thing is going to be behind us.
Yeah,
and they raised guidance too. I think that was key in that report.
Yes, they raised their EBIT guidance for the year. Earnings before interest and taxes. Okay.
All right,
Sorry,
Q's pushing hard at the open, guys. That's gone straight up at the open. Let's take a look at the SPY.
The Qs, you said?
Yeah, the Qs went straight up. Also, SPY went straight up at the open. Good
Apple, look at the power candle on Apple right out of the open here.
Yep, that could be whenever you see kind of that Q push and the Apple push.
Yep.
There you go. That's just showing you right there.
Absolutely. And to be quite honest with you, 147 seems to be the spot on Apple today. I think if we take that out, I think we can really go higher here.
Just calling out one that's moving here, NEGG.
Yep.
Keep that on watch, guys. You know how that's moved before.
I haven't looked at that one for a while.
Mm-hmm. It's been kind of dead, and I did see that like retail, not a bad one this morning. It's bouncing off support.
Oh man, Sava just completely reversed. Let me bring up a chart.
Now, is Sava, have they released all of their data? Or are we still waiting on
No,
data?
we're still waiting on data. We're still waiting. So for whatever reason, it opened at the highs of the pre-market session, and it just now completely reversed.
Oh my goodness.
And again, I don't even know if the data is. I haven't seen the data yet. I'm checking my press releases. I don't see anything. Oh wait, no, that's not.
There's a lot of anticipation in this name for this data, and I think that might make this a little bit more difficult to trade. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, just complete reversal. Overstock making a move here down. They had earnings as well, so the stock had opened lower and is down 3%.
An hour, Hector is saying an hour away with data on Sava. Okay,
Thanks,
so that's what it is. Okay, cool. Gucci says, not a fan of the penny stock trading. Can we trade actual companies that people actually know? Yeah,
Sure.
we are absolutely trying to do that. One of the things, Gucci, is we gotta wait for the trades to materialize. So we're gonna trade what's in front of us. So far today, the only thing I saw was the plate liquor trade on that small cap stock, that penny stock. But yeah, we are absolutely looking at some of those bigger companies.
All right, I'll give you the realest one that I know, which is Nikola. Okay, this is the realest company in the world. Recently made a new low, but is bouncing here. Trevor Milton probably going to jail, prison.
Again, no fill for me, but I'm watching Fubo. I tried to get in there, guys. 27.45. Just not getting fills. Market makers don't fill me, man. I had a good order out there. It went down to 46. Literally didn't fill me by a penny.
So annoying.
Literally, I put it out there on the limit order. I was going to tell you guys once I got in, but Fubo here, $5. This is a 5-minute red to green move that I'm trying to trade off of the support here. So prior support that we're running into. So you see this resistance, let it become support, and then I'm looking for it to come right back up towards the resistance.
Here, Mitch, I'm just going to mute you for a second because there's some reverb. I don't know if it's just me. It might be just me. Okay.
Real quick, move right back up though. At least that was the trade right there. That would have been a really good, nice trade there. 45s up to 27.85 now. I'd be looking to sell some right here and look for the breakout over the pre-market high right there. Or it just popped at 932. So I'd look for that high towards 28 now. Sucks I didn't get it filled, but hey, that's how it goes.
Possible trade set up here on PayPal. Obviously, we had those earnings. We really kind of plunged in the after hour session. Found a bottom at around 276, and then kind of traded up here. Looks like we're holding 282 today. So if you like PayPal, potential swing long here. The way I would do this is I would actually use some calls, maybe a 290, 300 call, and I would trade this against the 282 level. Let me take a look at the daily chart here, see what kind of room we have. I think we're definitely going to try to test some of this gap here, which is kind of how I'm going to select my strike price on some of those options. Maybe a 295 here. Give this maybe 20 days, 3 weeks or so. I think that would be a potential swing here. Again, though, we're going to trade this against the day low here at 282. Looks like we're pushing a little bit now.
I'm watching iRobot for a potential reversal here. This thing just missed on earnings and cut their guidance, but look at the chart. Look at the stock today, IRBT. Okay, we just ripped higher here in the last couple of minutes. New highs of the day. We are basically almost back to unchanged from the close of yesterday. I'm watching this for a reversal. Yeah, we weren't quite able to get there. We came close though. What's the high? 87.98.
Oh, look at Workhorse pushing.
We were not able to get there. What was the close yesterday in iRobot? Call it 88, 83. We came within a buck this morning.
AMD 100 prints soon.
Here comes the red candles in iRobot.
All right, guys. More of a long-term trade, but looking at DISCA to get in near 2950s.
Discovery?
Yep. It's had a pretty good recent daily chart, has conference calls in 5 days. I think it could make a run into that earnings call. And then if that earnings call goes well, we know this stock has been beaten down. I personally think they're going to have a good earnings call just because I've seen the numbers and the reaction in Discovery Plus. So I think I'm watching this one. See if we get a pullback right now towards 2950s. That'll be my entry. I'll be looking for a move above 30 for the rest of the day. But I'd be holding this one, guys. This would be more of a swing trade.
Yeah,
Fubo worked perfectly. Just mentioning that one, it did work perfectly. I'll just
100
get another one.
100 prints here for AMD, really trying to push through that 100 spot too. I think if you're already long this, maybe trim a little and book some of those gains. Just unsure what your plan is. If you're swinging this, if you're more of a long term, maybe not trade each tick. But if you're doing a short term trade, or if you were trading this yesterday, I think this is a good spot to trim here as we continue to push above 100.
My lips to God's ears on iRobot here. Look at that almost double top on the 1 minute. Here we go. Come back to earth now.
That thing looking strong out of the open.
It was an earnings miss, and they lowered their guidance. Please.
Tesla pushing pretty good here too on volume.
Every day with RLX, man. Off the open. Oh, AMC. We didn't talk AMC yet, but we should, because their annual.
Let's do it. Let me pull it up.
Their annual meeting is today. So, oh my gosh, iRobot. Why didn't I take that? AMC annual meeting is today. So here, let's find out what time that is actually. Don't expect too many headlines, but you really never know these things.
I'm not sure what to expect out of this, but if I'm taking a look at this, I'm going to start with the daily chart here. This type of price candle formation here, this is ripe for a Fibonacci retracement. So I'm taking a look at this here, and this looks just kind of like we're in no man's land here. So if I'm taking this for a trade, I'm going to wait until we can hold 35-ish, and I'm going to look for a target 42. So we're looking for about a 7-point move here. On any potential trade here. And I'm basically setting that up because I have no edge on a company like AMC. I'm just going to try to use some of the indicators and technical drawings and studies that I've used successfully. So here on AMC, kind of feels like we're in no man's land until we get a little bit closer to 35 for a potential long.
All right.
What a nice reversal candle in that Fubo. If I would have got that one, that would have been a really nice trade. Over $1 profit there for risking only. I was going to get in at 27.45 and risk towards the low, which was 27.35. 10-cent risk for $1 gain. I've called this one out also on a swing trade, also on Tuesday on Money Mitch. So that's kind of why I've been watching Fubo. I also talked about potential of Vizio getting that reversal because you're seeing that good move in Fubo. So we'll see if this one kind of gets roaring today.
Double T is selling everything near 48 in AMC. If we can get there, Double T. 48's a bit of a ways away right now. Let me catch up. Yeah, Workhorse, Elmano 2000. Good call out. What the hell got into Workhorse here today?
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering that myself.
Contract talks, man. I'm telling you, they're still fighting that postal contract. They're still trying to get the cars to be Workhorse and not Oshkosh. That's a battle, and it's going to change the stock. But the question is, it's kind of binary. You don't know if they're going to be able to get that contract or not. T-Doc having a good day. I know we want to not maybe call out some pennies. So right there. T-Doc, not a bad day.
You people mentioned AMD. Whoa, AMD. Hey now. AMD. Wow.
They're hanging tight there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's big. Psychological.
Yeah.
I mean,
bull on this either.
How many times has AMD?
We got a parabolic mover here, man. SGOC. SGOC. All
right, 1 second. How many times has AMD gotten near, and maybe not that many? It feels like a lot, but AMD is through 100, everyone. This is psychological. All right, Mitch, what was your thing?
SGOC.
SGOC, parabolic.
Okay.
That's a parabolic move right there. From $9 all the way up to 1180s, guys.
Yeah, and our PayPal trade, our PayPal trade's working so far, right? We were gonna right around 283, push off 282. We're printing 287 right now. Not bad, not bad.
NEGG starting to get the boost. I'm glad I brought that one up early to us, guys. On this first move, I was bringing it up when it was at 2090s. We're already at 2260s. Really starting to push there on NEGG. A lot of volume in the last 1 minute candle.
All right, so we weren't on this. Weren't on the lending club trade. We talked about it. We talked a little bit about it. Actually gave us a really nice trade here. Came back in towards 2151 and bounced. We're up 2 points off that. So it looks like it's trying to hold in here. Spencer, I know we had talked about this being, kind of in uncharted waters for this company. It'd be really bullish to see it hold here and see what we do in some of the next sessions here. So I actually didn't take this one, but looking pretty nice.
Finally getting a fill. DSCA. Let's go. 29.46. 29.46, guys, is my entry right now, guys. We'll see if this one kind of holds here. I'll kind of draw out where I'm at, what I'm looking at, guys. I got it on this pullback near the VWAP. Got it in at 29.45, just about right here. Getting my fill. Now I'll be looking for it to break through the highs and get up there towards 30. After 30 is where I'd kind of start looking for some profit. But since this is a swing trade, I'm actually going to be holding this one on, guys. I'm trying to get it above 30. If it can close above 30 today, I'll be holding it into kind of the next couple of days. We'll see if this one starts moving. 5 days from now, we got earnings on the 3rd. So
COCP from the list. That's gone. Great job there, Saka. If you took that, Sakachui, if you took that, great job.
What would you do with AMD now? Is the question from who asked that? Rose. Rose asked that. I mean,
what's your cost basis? That's my first question.
Yeah, you kind of got to know that.
Well, I don't know if Rose is in it. I think she's asking. Well, I don't own it. Oh, okay, so here we couldn't hold for the moment. Okay, here's what's important now: is you want to see AMD close above 100. It's one thing to break 100 during the day. It is a whole other thing to close above 100. So, if it closes above 100, great, bullish. If it doesn't, not so bullish for me. That's where I'm at right now on AMD. You want to see it close 100. I don't know if I'm doing anything today.
Ooh, might take a day trade on a SPAC. What?
SPAC? What?
Yeah. Rover right now is about to be switching over.
Ooh.
And they're having their vote. NEBC. Nebula Carnival. It's going to be switching over to Rover. I believe in Rover so much. I believe in that story for this summer. I can tell you right now, I've talked to multiple, let's say, pet employees. I don't know how would you call them. No, like the actual people that take care of the dogs. And they've been saying they're so behind on their demand. If they want to put another day on there, they'll just fill up every single time. So they don't have as many pet sitters that they need for the demand that they're getting on their app.
What's going on with Zoom today? I saw, was it an upgrade? Zoom got an upgrade from KeyBank to overweight. When is the last time Zoom got an upgrade? Let's find out. Has it been a while? Sort by date. Benzinga Pro Calendar. No. Only been like a month. Argus is sort of a smaller firm. Then again, KeyBank is they're mid tier as far as their influence. They're not like a bulge bracket, right?
Your car guy. Congrats on your lending club trade. Nice job. 1,500 shares of lending club for $1.72 profit. Day trade. Nice work, my man. Nice work. AMD pulled back here, but looks like it is bouncing again at 99.50. Real strong here on AMD. COCP, this thing looks like it's got a lot of juice. I see here Joe Eddy from the chat in COCP at 140. Nice buy there right off that 139 level. Looks like it backed off 150 on its first attempt. Got a lot of juice here, though. Wouldn't be surprised to see it push through 150. Be careful with your risk management. Don't let this become a bag, right? You can always rebuy if the story changes. Look for 150 to fall, then 152 if this is going to continue up.
Wow. All right. So for the moment, I appear to be wrong on iRobot because it has just made a new high of the day a few minutes ago. So still watching that though, because this is silliness, right? you missed on your earnings, which we almost never see this quarter, and you cut your guidance for the year. Anyway,
and you got a downgrade from JP Morgan.
Level to watch on iRobot is the close of yesterday. That's 88.91. Anyway.
All right, guys. I just want to remind everybody we're getting towards that 10 o'clock hour. This is when I start being a little bit careful if I was too on the long side, just because you could get some pullbacks and reversals around this time. Not saying that it's going to happen, but this is when I start being careful about my positions and start realizing, especially if I'm in a day trade, that the trend could change.
I do want to and now to programming note, we're going to have a couple of guests here join us in the next hour. We're going to have Richard Judge, who's one of our viewers.
All right.
Come hang out for a few minutes. And then at 10:30, why am I? Is it just me?
Yeah, it is just you, I think, bro.
It's just me? All right.
I think it might be that other headset. I don't know what it is.
No, it's not. At 10:30, I'm going to have Tony Benson hop on with me from Better Trades. He's a patterns guy. He's great with patterns. Like I said, Tony, come with ideas. So he's going to come with ideas ready for us and him and I are going to hang out until 11 o'clock. So
nice.
That being said, I am watching for your old 10 o'clock reversal, Mitch. Watching
the old 10 o'clock reversal. At least you get pullbacks a lot of the time. So that's what I kind of look for too. Like if a stock has gone up, let's say 10%, I'm looking for a nice 5% pullback and looking to see if the continuation is going to happen. Perfect example of that would be, let's say, SGOC that just made a run right into what? 947, 950. Boom, and then starts pulling back. Now you got to see if this pullback's going to hold. If it's a 50% pullback, and it can make that continuation move back up. There's another one also that was moving that was kind of one of those Reddit stocks. I saw AHT start making a move, but I think that was just sympathy. People looking at NGG move up, and they're like, okay, well, maybe this one will start ripping.
Wow. Good call out, Inferno Flame on DD. Very unusual to see the company come out so fast and deny it. Either you have to like
you can't pay me.
You have to assume that, like, why would they come out so fast other than the fact that they are so desperate to just not piss off the regulators right now, right? The overlords over there, right?
Yep.
The masters, right? Why would they come out so quickly and deny that going private report? Unless it was either so off base or they're, trying to throw us all off the trail here. But I mean, yeah, we are basically giving back almost all those gains here this morning. It's funny. I woke up and I rolled over, and that was the very first thing that I saw was like, DD going private? What? And then it wasn't until I came in the office that I saw, it's not true? What? So wild stuff. Exactly, Shelly. The Sith Lords. That's exactly right.
AMD new highs after that pullback. Option sweeps continue to come through too.
Option sweeps.
You got a couple of them in your news feed, Spence. If you just click on that news tab, you'll see a couple of them.
All right, keeping one eye on Facebook. Making new lows of the day.
Qs look like they're doing a 5-minute little consolidation here. Let's see if they get through this consolidation, or do we start pulling back? What? 10 o'clock pullback? No, it never happens. We'll see.
Noah is asking, does Ryan like Amazon into earnings? I actually really do like Amazon. I have no position going into earnings. I'm actually not trading the print, but yes, I do like it. Hope that helps.
All right, guys, I'm trying to look at Penn. I'm really starting to think that it's time to start dipping our toes in Penn. So
you've been thinking about that for a while.
Yeah, man, it's just seasonality is coming, man. I have that feeling. I'm already in the green in Genie. I've taken the profit, some of the profit off already, the risk that I had on that long-term position. And I've been seeing the gambling stock. It had a really good bounce on the indexes yesterday. You could look at like the industry indexes for that. So I'm thinking gambling. Yeah, I think it has a good August at least. I've been waiting for August, so let's see how it starts going. Then September, football, college football. You're going to run into the MLB playoffs. There's just so much betting that goes on in that time that I think we will see a lift.
And what are we? We're 42 days away from NFL kickoff, Mitch. 42 days.
Who's counting?
Yeah, not
Ryan.
me, obviously.
You know that one.
Wait, can I show you all a really cool chart that if you're
Of
watching
course.
Options Mike last night, you saw me have my mind blown. So this is Thinkorswim. I've been using Thinkorswim, for work purposes, not for personal reasons, but for work purposes for basically the last 6 years. But I would not call myself a good user of it. I discovered this chart yesterday, or it was discovered for me. Options Mike showed this chart to me. This is $ADD, okay, on Thinkorswim. This is the New York Stock Exchange advancers and decliners, okay? It is a measurement of all the stocks on the trade on the NYSE that are up or down, right in the middle, right where my line is, that white line. This is 0, okay? This means you've got an even number of stocks trading higher and stocks trading lower. So you can see here, and this is a measurement of breadth. That's what this is, right? Advancers versus decliners. And I just loved, I never seen advancers, decliners visualized in this way before. Like if you go to a daily, right? I mean, look at this. It's a great visualization of market breadth, right? Days when you have more gainers, days where you have more losers. You look intraday. How do you go intraday? Yesterday, you start off with way more gainers. You end up we had more losers at one point, and then we ended up in the green with more gainers. I just love the visualization of this. It sort of blew my mind yesterday. So again, $ADD to see this chart I'm sure this chart's available on other platforms. I just don't know what the symbol is. I happen to know what the symbol is here. So
Spencer, I got another little tip for you.
Yeah.
On that same chart that you have pulled up, type in $tick.
Oh man, you're gonna blow my mind again. TICK.
TICK, baby. So what you're looking at here, this is going to be your niece tick, right? So when you had, this is a great, you can look at this as like almost like a trader's compass in a way. This is going to tell you when you're getting, some of those big flushes. I have my chart set to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Mitch is shaking his head. I'm not sure what that's about. We're going to catch up on that here in a
We'll
second.
catch up with Mitch in a second.
Yeah,
the tick. Sorry, Mitch. The tick chart here, this actually really helps me determine if there's panic going on in the market, right? Sometimes when you have those humongous flushes intraday, when the market's really getting torn to shreds, you'll see really, really low tick prints. And that sometimes can signify that you've actually reached the bottom of that flush. Now, there's no hard and fast rule. This is something that I've been watching for a while. I kind of just keep it up. I wouldn't say that I make trades specifically off this chart, but I do take a look at it and get an idea of where we're at during the trading day.
Yeah, and like I said, I've been using this for years, but I'm not a good user of Thinkorswim, so I've never really I learned a couple of things years ago, and then I never really bothered to master the platform. To Voodoo's point in the chat, this is a very common complaint that they get is it's just a resource hog. It will just hog your computer and suck the suck the speed out of it. But it is a great platform. So
I'm sorry, Spencer. Can you share your screen one more time? I got another little tip for our Thinkorswim users. If you could do me a favor and click on the Help tab at the top there.
Okay. Wait,
it's not right next to Chart Tools, Education, Help.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Left side.
Sorry, yeah, I'm blanking.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Now you can click on the System sub tab right there.
Okay.
And all right, this is going to show you a graph of the system resources that Thinkorswim uses. Go ahead and hit that Collect Garbage button in the upper right corner. Sometimes if you leave Thinkorswim open for a long time and it's going through all this quoting and it has all this data here, it might be worth it to kind of just hit that collect garbage. You might get a little bit better performance out of it. I do this sometimes. It works sometimes. It doesn't work every time. This is not like some elite God cheat or anything like that, but this might actually help you if you're going through some performance issues.
Thank you for that. Thanks
You're welcome.
Man. Appreciate it. Let's get that off my screen. All right. Back to my chart. By the way, if you want to see what my screen usually looks like, it's that. And I'm very deliberate with the charts I have up and the time frames I have up. We can maybe go through that now or later at some point. Mitch, what were you going on about over there?
QCOM, man. Holy moly. We're sleeping on that name. Did you see it today?
Yeah, that's really strong.
Look at that. That's a nice move there. And then we're talking about it already had gapped up. Did a gap up and a big move up. I think this is the reason why you're seeing the Q so strong. But also, I mean, Apple and Tesla also having a good day. But look at that gap up, push on up there to 150s now. Man, this is one that I was really looking at in the 135 area. So I'm just more like, man, big tech came back, man. And there was a moment there where big tech was definitely being viewed negatively towards kind of long term. And dude, that was such a great opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, that was when the 10-year was topping 1.7. People were pulling out of those tech growth names, and then that's got absolutely cratered. Real quick in here, Voodoo giving another tip here. Also, you can set the dedicated RAM at the opening screen of Thinkorswim. Yes, definitely do that. Do not max them though; you may lock it up. But I've increased mine as well. I'm running 64 gigs of overclocked RAM, so I definitely did that. MDIA halt, good call, Trent. MDIA halt 887.
Okay,
here's a tip for. Go ahead.
No, go. I'll go.
Here's a tip for all Windows users. You can actually go to your processes and you can make that program a real-time program, which is going to help your computer focus on the data that's coming in from that program.
Okay, while we were doing all that, Sava had data out. So I'm hopping to my Benzinga Pro newsfeed. That's not it. I got to share the right screen. Sava data is out here. Going to Pro, not the right Pro. I've got several Pro screens open right now. Dude, come on, Spencer, get on the ball. There we go. Nope, that's not it either. Oh my gosh, share the right screen. Where's my Benzinga Pro? Sorry guys, 1 second. I'm trying to find it. I've got so many. I got 1,000 tabs open right now. Forget it. I'm sharing the whole darn window. Okay. Here we go. Benzinga Pro. You guys see that? Yes, you can. Okay. Sava. Data just out a few minutes ago. Trial was with 25 patients. Showed 65% and 44% decrease. Let's just go to the press release ourselves. So here's the press release in Benzinga Pro. Okay. Simulfilm significantly improved biomarkers in Alzheimer's patients treated for 6 months. Let's see what we can see here from the PR. So yeah, looks like cerebrospinal fluid decreased 38 and 18% respectively. No placebo effects. Okay, I didn't realize it was such a small study. In any case, let's go to the chart. Sava's just made a new low a few minutes ago when that data came out. Right when that data hit.
It almost looks like it was a sell the news event to me, Spencer. Right? The news came out.
Sell the rumor, buy the news. No?
I mean, if you were going to short, I mean, there was a lot of anticipation for this data. I know that there were a bunch of people kind of loading up for this in hopes to hear good news out of this. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional by any means at all, but the data at least from what I've read, that sounds good. That sounds good to me. So it almost just feels like, kind of a sell the news here. Now, it might not mean the trade is over, right? We definitely, I got to pull up the right ticker here. It looks like we definitely kind of found a bottom here right around 100. We really didn't want to break 100 to the downside. Looks like we're pushing up off of that. It'd be interesting to see where we close here today.
Yeah. I mean, none of us are doctors. I have a hard time interpreting that release. That's why I just default to the chart.
Yeah.
But I'm inclined to suggest here that this is a sell the rumor, buy the news situation. The news came out. That red candle, that low of the day was when the news hit. Look, press release was out at 9:53. Yep. When's the low of the day? 3 minutes later. Okay. So as long as we hold the low of the day, which is what? 105? No, that's wrong. 98.35.
Yeah, that's the low tick. 90. Yeah. Here, let me get you the exact low print on that. 98.35. You got it.
So watching this one closely. Big reversal from we opened at the high.
That's what I mean. I think some of that was kind of baked in, and when that news came out, we could just kind of let the air out of that.
And the problem with these PRs is like, even if the data, and this is why you need some real expertise to trade this stuff, is because even if the data is bad, the press release is going to say, they always say it's good data. You should follow Adam Fierstein on Twitter. He's a pretty good reporter for Stat News. He's not always right, but he's very good at interpreting these releases. And when the company, when the data is actually good, or when the company is just saying the data is good and it's really not. But
and real quick, Spence, there's no one that's right all the time, and I like Adam too. You know, I don't always disagree with him, but I think he's a very, very well reresearched, smart guy. I mean, definitely worth a follow.
I'm usually right about everything.
That's true.
I won't speak for.
We had a request here for ANVS Webcoin asking about ANVS. ANVS seems to be trading along with some of the other Alzheimer's names. Huge gap down here. Obviously, I mean, we're above 100. In the after hour session yesterday, we're down here at about 49. Now, it does look like it's kind of found a bottom here. Be very, very careful if this is something that you are going to trade, because obviously there's no reason to hold this if we start retesting those day lows. I mean, that to me, that's, if you're going to take this as a trade right here, okay, looks like it's setting up for a base. Trade this against the pre-market low here, about 45.50. That's about maybe even less than that. I'd say 46.78, just to be a little bit more conservative here if you're going to actually take this. This is a pretty awful looking chart, though. I'm not sure I might want to let this shake out for a few days before I actually take a swing long at it.
Someone just asked for thoughts on Upwork.
Catherine says Spencer is always right. It's annoying.
Thanks, Catherine.
Oh, Catherine, that's awesome.
You know, it annoys me how right I am all the time. I gotta say,
it does.
So someone just asked about Upwork. I don't even see them on the earnings calendar. I don't know if they've even announced an earnings date yet, which is a little bit annoying. But you have to presume who asked about Upwork again. Inferno Flame. The theme this season has been lower the bar for yourself, right? If you're a stay-at-home play, right, lower the bar for yourself going forward. Tell the street, look, we're not going to repeat the growth of the last year and a half. That's what Facebook did. That's what Zoom did. That's what everyone's been doing. You got to presume Upwork would do the same thing, right? Try to lower the expectations, because, I mean, the stock just went. Here, let's go to a zoomed out chart on UPWK here.
UPWK.
To pull it up on my screen here. I mean, the stock just ripped last year, right? Just ripped. So I don't know when they report. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I do. Today. It says it right there. See? Benzinga Pro's got me.
And real quick, let me just say one more thing about ANVS. Webcoin here. I'm scalping ANVS so far with success. Awesome job. And that's exactly how I would trade this. Now that we're pulling this back up, you got a nice little push there. If you're scalping, you can trim here. That's nice trade, Webcoin. If you've been doing this all morning off this dip, great job. You've really been hammering it. That's how I would trade this, right? I would actually do just day trades, scalps. I called it a plate liquor trade earlier. Let's call it the same thing again here. So a great job there. Sorry, I just wanted to clear that up. And Hector's one of our guys that has been really following a lot of this Alzheimer's stuff in our happy hour show, regular on the happy hour show. He's shared a lot of his due diligence on Sava and some of the other Alzheimer names. He says here, Sava has showed their drug is still improving the condition of patients at 9 months. There's literally no other Alzheimer drug that has shown any type of therapeutic benefit past 6 months. So although this data, and you can see now we're starting to bounce, right? So this is kind of all over the board here. This data is positive, even if the reaction is kind of a sell the event. 13 suggesting we have Hector on. I got no problem with that.
That was some good take, Hector. Hector, wait, this is
I'm telling you, Hector is well read. This is a smart man. He's been on top of this for months now with us. Robinhood indication at 42. Robinhood indication
42?
at 42.
Holy
priced at
hell.
38, I believe.
Yeah, so they priced at the low end of the range, and now they're going back to the high end of the range. Good call out there, Ryan. I didn't see that. I guess they asked They asked Vlad on CNBC if he had thought about the possibility of Robinhood itself becoming a meme stock, and he said he hadn't thought much about it.
Yeah, I mean, it probably will, right?
I don't know. I mean, if I were a Robinhood like venture, if I were an early investor, today is a liquidity event for me. Today is a chance for me to like get out. I don't know if I was like an executive at Robinhood. I don't know if I could stomach my company being publicly traded, and being subject to the whim of like investors all the time. I don't know if I could take it.
I mean, we can just clearly say it like this, right? If the AMC thing would have happened now when this is public, what would have happened to the stock?
Oh, it would have gotten destroyed, I think.
Destroyed. That's why I'm not touching that. You can't pay me to buy that IPO today. You can buy the shares and give them to me, and I still probably give them back.
It's very interesting. It's funny. It's a very interesting question, Mitch. Is what if all that stuff had happened now or had happened next month when Robinhood is public? It's a very interesting scenario to try to run through.
I want to point out the home builders for you, Spencer. I know you like that nail. Look at nail. Up.
Why do I like nail?
72.4%. Not a bad one. Home builders.
Well, it's a leverage ETF. I would hope it's up either up a lot or down a lot.
Hey, not a bad one. Not a bad one.
AMD new highs, guys.
I never
Really
played
broke out of that.
AMD new highs. We're holding 100.
Uber
AMD.
pushing 2. Uber pushing 2.
Oops.
Buy the dip in Uber. Is that what's happening? That's
What happened with the Qs? It's probably ripping up again.
Into
No.
the gap now on Uber.
Oh, it's finding the VWAP. Let's see if it holds it. So that's the VWAP right now. We talked about maybe a potential 10 o'clock reversal coming into a pullback, about 50% reversal. So not a bad looking play here. I'm not going to draw the fibs, but I think it's pretty close towards these levels right here. And let's see if we bounce off and start pushing back up on the Qs. One of the things I did see is Apple still holding well and Tesla having a good day. That's Apple. And then let's take a look at Tesla. You see, that's a strong looking candle right there in Tesla. Tesla's the one, Spencer, next time that's at 6:30, if you don't slap me, I'm going to have to slap myself on camera because, man, 6:30s for me is Tesla. I've had 3 opportunities to grab it at 6:30, and every single time I probably would have maybe risked $10 on that, 10 points. And each time it's come back up here towards like 670s, 680s. I mean, 50 points, 10-point risk. That's not a bad trade.
All right. ATVI is trying to get me, but they're not going to get me yet. I'll give myself a little.
Look at that thinking. Look at that thinking face.
I'll give myself a little breathing room on this, so stop myself out probably like in the high 83s. I think what was the close from Tuesday? The close from Tuesday was 84.05. I'll give myself like a dime or a quarter, just some breathing room there. But they're testing me here. They are testing me. So
looks like somebody at least made some money on PayPal.
Yes, Jay Towers, way to go, my man. Way to go.
All right, guys, let's take a second right here. What I want you guys to do right now, if you guys can do me a favor, look down. You guys see that button, smash that like, hit the subscribe. And if you can really do a favor, if you're enjoying this and you're getting some value out of it, why don't you hit that share button? Let everybody know that you have a new show to watch in the morning, guys. We'll trade with you guys. We got you. Let us know.
It's way more fun trading with friends.
That's so true, Spence. It absolutely is. Absolutely is. What's up, Blind Trader? Hope you're doing well, my man. Nice to see you in here.
All right.
The handle always gets me. Every time, Blind Trader, you get me with that handle. Okay. Awaiting Robinhood, probably not going to open for a little bit.
BTBT not having the worst day today.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned BTBT, Mitch. You know what's crazy is that Bitcoin down.
Pull that out, yeah.
And BTBT popping. I don't know if you remember, we talked about this. It was yesterday or the day before. I was unsure about how much the price of Bitcoin is actually tied to some of these names. And so today we're kind of seeing that. Why is BTBT popping so ferociously when Bitcoin is trading down? I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately.
Sava coming back towards VWAP. If you're shorter, this is kind of one of those plays that I really like to do. It's called the VWAP fade look. So whenever you're coming back towards that VWAP, you can risk off the resistance that's above it and look to short slightly above or at VWAP and looking to bring it back down towards the low.
All right. Can't be looking at everything, but yes, I see you, Cleveland Cliffs. Chaotic Logic. Are you the person that's been talking about CLF all morning? You may be. I see CLF.
The leap. Take a leap.
Holy cow, look at that.
And really quick, Penny, we talked about INFI yesterday. INFI was a potential day trade yesterday. Volume looks to really dried up here. I think this is a no touch today unless we take out some of these key levels. For a long side trade this against the intraday lows here. So 218, 219, thereabouts. That'd be my final cut. Looks like those were about the those are about midday lows yesterday. Day low yesterday was 205. So I'd say if we break down through 218, looks like a 2 test is probably on deck. I don't really see any catalyst here to really kind of trade this today. This was a trade yesterday. Robinhood
is going to open probably around 40. It's indicated now at 40 and a quarter. So we're going to probably end up being somewhere in that range, 38 to 42. Kadir is in at Uber. Kadir, curious to see what your target is or what your stop loss target is on that. Let us know, Kadir.
CIDM possibly setting up for a trade on a 165 snap here. CIDM.
Hey, here's a new ticker. Ryan, you ever traded Ryan?
Ryanair?
No, like, is that RYAN?
Yeah, I believe so. Type it in there.
I didn't know that.
I'm watching this just in case this is a trade here. Sorry.
Wait, you're watching Ryan?
Oh, no, it's Ryan Specialty Group Holdings. Okay, no, I thought Ryan was Ryanair. I guess
no, Ryanair is OTC.
Ryanair is RYAAY. So,
yeah,
no, I have not traded Ryan before, but you know what? This might be a long-term hold here.
Yeah, I bet it is.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Ryan actually means little king. So if this stock is the little king, then I need to add it early on so that I can watch it mature to be the full king.
It can become a big king, right? That's it. Yeah, I never heard of this one. I think it must be relatively new.
Rover. Didn't you mention that earlier, Mitch? Weren't you on Rover?
Yeah, he was.
NABC.
Yeah. What was the ticker again?
NEBC.
NEBC.
Yep. Nebula Carnival.
Oh, okay. So they changed, right? So I don't know. Can we talk
over.
about the ticker change in Rover? Do you know anything about this, Mr. Spec Man?
Yeah, so you're going to get the vote. And once you get the vote coming through today, we've been seeing a lot of the times. This has also to do with some redemptions also. Chris has been talking about this. So one of the things that's been happening to a lot of these SPACs is so when they go through the voting process and the redemption process, a lot of times the float can change on the stock. When the float changes on the stock, if you lower the float by a substantial amount, then you get some buying momentum. A lot of times that's what we've been seeing, a little bit of a squeeze going into that because of that momentum from the float being lowered. So I'm going to pay attention towards this one. I like it long term. Guidance wise, I think they're going to just kick it out of the waters. I mean, Rover is definitely one of the most, I think, popular. If you think of dog boarding, the first thing that comes into mind is Rover.
I don't think of dog boarding. So
you don't think of dog boarding? You need a dog, Spencer.
I know.
Bro, come on, bro.
You're not the only person that's been saying that.
Solar Up, help somebody out at home. You need a dog, Spencer.
Solar Up asked if Lucid halted. No, I don't see any halts on Lucid.
Lucid?
Yeah.
Who's going lucid dreaming? Oof, Lucid didn't hold that 25. I was talking about that level. We could hold 25, but no. We're not even back above that level today.
Real quick here, guys. Mo Herbert is asking if we've talked about any infrastructure stocks. We have not yet today. I will say, though, we have discussed this in our happy hour show. You should check that out if you want to get some more info on infrastructure stocks. There is one that I am holding, ticker CHRA. They do remediation services. So as we continue to increase the amount of steel that we use and coal that we burn in order to do things like this, I believe that this company is going to see some pretty heavy gains. Done some pretty good community due diligence on this name. This is a 12 to 18 month infrastructure-based swing trade for me. So I haven't taken any new trades today. I've been holding Chara for a couple of months now. My average is actually 494. I am at flat right here. So I'm not sure what it is that you're looking for. Stop by the happy hour. We do talk about infrastructure.
Wait, tell them where to stop by.
So the happy hour, right? The happy hour, if you're a Benzinga Pro subscriber, you will see a little yellow notification in the bottom left-hand corner every day. The happy hour runs from 4 to 5 Eastern time. Right after the market closes, we put together a community watch list. We discuss what happened. We go over trades. We talk about data. Hector is in there quite a bit. We've talked a lot about the Alzheimer's data this week, with it being Alzheimer's week. I can't post in the YouTube chat here. But there is, if you guys need the link to the registration, please go ahead and send me an email.
Give me the link. All
right, yeah, let me grab it for you real quick, Spence.
Also, is that information, is it yellow or is it orange? I always thought it was more orange than yellow. Maybe I'm just colorblind. I don't know. It always looked more orange to me.
What are you talking about?
The notification in Pro.
Oh, orange, yellow, however your monitor displays color. Mustard. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Call it whatever you want.
Okay. Trying to bring on Richard Judge here, but we're having a hard time getting him connected. So, Richard, I see you here, but I see you, but I don't see you. If you can get connected, we would love to have you on. If not, we'll figure out another day to get you on. But I'm going to have Tony Benson on in a few minutes here, and Tony's got some patterns he's trading.
Hey, Richard, if you can.
And sorry, I was just going through the comments here. I'm a little disappointed in what I see out of AJ and Catherine, but we'll assess that a little bit later.
What about
two more infrastructure plays that some of our community has gone over? Ticker GVA and MYRG. We actually talked about both of those yesterday. So I'm sorry, Joe. Those are not stocks that I was in, so I of course only gave my position, full disclosure. But GVA and MYRG. Those are also infrastructure plays that seem to be positioned nicely.
Looks like I've been calling out Ryan for months ago, bro. Look at that. I've been just putting you out there, Ryan.
Hey, man.
Got to tell the story how it is, man. But yeah, Richard, if you look up by the URL, you might have a little camera looking thing. If you can right click that, that will give you access to letting the page give you access to your mic. So I think that's why what's going on there, just to help you out. All right, let's go ahead and start. I'll start up my rapid process. Let's see how DSCA is performing.
We got Richard. Look at it worked, Mitch. Look at you. You're great. Go. All right, Richard. Let's bring you on for a couple minutes here, and then we'll save it up. Richard Judge is one of our fans, viewers. We put the call out the other day. Do it every day. If you want to come on the show, email us, shows@benzinga.com. Richard Judge, what up, man?
Boom, baby.
Whoa.
It's the old radio trick, bro. Turn the show off when you're on the air. Let's see if we got it fixed now.
The old radio trick.
Turn the volume off. Nope.
Whoa.
All right.
Richard, 1 second.
He's giving us give you 1 second. 1 second. All right, we'll give you 1 second. I see Tony Benson here as well. He is from Patterns in the Flash. He'll be on at 10:30. In the meantime, Mitch, you were about to start with your final thoughts, so why don't you just proceed with that?
Yep, just going to be looking. I did get into Discovery today. You guys can see that little circle where I'm holding. It's holding across VWAP, so that's a good trend. Still holding on the bullish side. Let's see if we can get it above 30 close. That would be good. I'll go ahead and I'll swing into this move, and I'll let you guys know tomorrow how we're performing.
Ryan, what about you? Ryan, you're on mute, bro.
Come on, bro. Come on,
bro.
I was going through the comments, my man. I'm sorry about that. What was your question?
Final thoughts here.
Final thoughts, man.
Final thoughts. I want to watch how tech performs, right? We talked a lot about the Fed. We've seen a lot of earnings now. I think we've got Amazon earnings later today. I want to see how some of these growth tech names actually end up trading, and I want to see how some of these other companies react after their prints. I'm encouraged out of the action that I see out of Apple today. I'm really encouraged from the action I see out of AMD. So let's just see if we can spin that forward.
All right. Richard Judge says it should be fixed. Richard, if it's not fixed, I'm about to go crazy here. Richard Judge.
Strike two. Oh, right out of the park. Richard's here.
We got him. We hear you.
We got him.
Perfect. Finally. Jeez.
He is, Louise. All right. Hey, man. How's it going?
It's going great. Good to see you guys. Appreciate you for having me on.
Yeah. What have you been trading and watching today?
Right now, I just been pretty much watching the SPY, bonds, and also oil. As far as what I'm trading, I'm really not trading anything at this moment. I've just been pretty much doing a lot of watching for the last 2 weeks or so.
Can you turn down the TV? Is there a TV on? Can you turn that down a little bit?
Oh, it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
My man got his trading setup going.
Yeah.
Benzinga 1 year.
Trent said
TV on the other year.
You'd have known if it was David Goggins, that's for sure.
Yeah, so pretty much what I've been doing is just looking to add to some of my long-term positions. One was Apple that I did the other day, and also I picked up two more of Live Nation. That was on Monday. And that's
Live Nation. I haven't looked at Live Nation for a hot.
Me either. Has a blast from the past.
Yeah. So I've been pretty much holding on to Live Nation for a long time. And
I don't even remember what the ticker is on that. What is it?
It's LYB.
Thank you. It's been so long that I've looked at it. Wow. What do you like about this?
I like the overall. Well, at the time when I looked into it, it's regards to the reopening plays. A lot of concerts and stuff are beginning to happen, but now you're getting the wariness of the Delta virus and how that's beginning to spread, and it's seeming like that the vaccine is working but not working. So it's a little confusion about how that's all going about in the mass situation. So pretty much I'm just trying to figure out if the reopening is on a standstill or we still pushing forward. And it's pretty much like we're on a standstill, like we halted pretty much at that point.
Yeah.
Well, as the stock go down, I'm just going to continue to add to the position for a long-term output. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Got anything short-term?
HOFV, which is HOFB, that is the NFL kind of NFT stock, and I'm just kind of holding on to that for like the NFCs. The NFL season is coming up, and the Hall of Fame Shrine game, which is in August. So I'm just kind of keeping an eye on that, and hopefully that pops around that time, and we'll possibly get rid of it at that point.
Nice. All right, man. Well, I'm glad we could finally get you on after trying for most of the last half hour. So, guys, if you ever want to hop on with us, do what Richard did and just shoot us an email, right? shows@benzinga.com. We will respond usually, unless you mean to us.
I appreciate your time. I appreciate it. I wish I had a little bit more time to go a little bit more stuff with you. Hopefully,
we can have you back. Not to worry.
Back on.
Thanks a lot, bro.
Thanks for coming on, Richard.
All right. All right. Yeah. Shows@benzinga.com, guys. Shoot us an email. We usually respond. All right.
Last thing before I just kick on out.
Yes.
Qs did bounce there off the VWAP. Nice little pullback, 10 o'clock. Now we're bouncing back. Let's see if we can get through that high and the Qs continue to run today.
Ryan Faloona, final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of watch tech. I'm going to watch the Qs too. Had a nice start here to the morning, so we'll probably just play it real conservative, real close to the chest, and then wait for some of the earnings prints later today.
All righty. Mitch is out. He's got to go prep for SPAC's attack. Ryan Flynn is out. He's got to go do his real job, right? See you, man.
Take care, Spence. See you tomorrow.
I'm going to bring on Mr. Tony Benson from Patterns in a Flash to hang out with me for the next half hour. Tony, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited. It's been an unusually busy morning in terms of news flow. We, of course, have earnings. We have Robinhood. We have GDP this morning that was lower than expected. We had Fed nonsense yesterday. What are you watching? What's on your radar today? Maybe none of that, for all I know. What are you watching?
Yeah, I don't pay. I mean, I watch the news, obviously see it happening, but I'm mostly looking for patterns, something that's happening, and it's very simple for me. I've been at this for 20 years, and one thing I learned is to keep it simple. So,
okay, do you want to share your screen and show us some patterns?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. That'd be so. Just on the bottom there, you can just click that share screen button. You can share, a specific monitor, the specific program that you're using, and would love to see some patterns that you are eyeing.
Let's see. Screen one. There we go.
And in the meantime, I'll just bring up my scanner here, keeping an eye on gainers and losers for the day.
Until we can see my. Well, the one thing I'm watching right now, especially, is Dropbox.
All right, I'm bringing up that screen. Here we go. What do we got? What is this? Dropbox?
Yeah, Dropbox.
Okay. What?
A nice flag pattern from yesterday. Obviously, a big run there first thing in the morning, and then we just danced around there, that little range. Looking for it to break out this morning. Sure enough, it did. It broke up, and then basically just throw a trading plan on there. Looking at the breakout, looking for a breakout, and put my stop. I always use a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. So I put a stop, a target, and then an entry point that gives me that risk reward ratio that I need. So my entry point on this was, I think, 31.99. So Dropbox, that's looking good right now. We'll see if it pops some more. Hopefully, it pops up and hits that 32.67. So,
wait. Tell us more about the entry and exit plan, though.
The entry and exit plan?
Yeah.
Well, but for the most part, let me grab one. Let's see if we can grab something here that's actually in a position to hit. Maybe the triangle. I just basically look through and look for a pattern that I see. So JD, I know JD is another one that I was watching. I actually pulled the trigger on one of those, but it stopped me out real quick. So we'll go back to that one because that one has some potential there. So basically what I'm looking for, again, like I said, is just a pattern. And here we've got basically a head and shoulders. It's not a beautiful one, not textbook, but it's there. So I'm going to remove these real quick. We'll just start fresh if that's all right.
Yeah.
Just to kind of lay out the thought process, at least what I look for and what I see. Whoops. If there's a drawing tool on here, but basically drawing the neckline, which is essentially right here. There we go. And the first thing I'm looking for is a stop. Is at what point, if I do get into this trade, at what point am I going to get out? In other words, how much risk am I willing to take, and how comfortable I am with the ultimate position. So I'm essentially looking at this. If it breaks lower, which you can see it did just a little bit this morning, if it breaks below this support line, at what point above it am I getting out? And I'm going to go slightly above all the most recent lows. And then target wise, I'm looking for the next support level, essentially, which I'm going to put right down here from the gap the other day. We have this little kind of almost a miniature island reversal, not necessarily, but it's close. So that gives us a lot of potential downside, obviously, whether shorting it or trading. That's another one I was looking at, is Riot. Maybe we'll look at that one too.
Yeah, I'm interested in that you ended up on JD. The whole China trade's been sort of unwinding here the past week, so very curious to see how you approach that. And Bitcoin, same story, right? Is just equally as volatile. So okay, so we have a setup here in JD, right? And we have a stop loss target, and
so then I just have a simple calculator in this thing to throw some numbers in. I can throw in my stop 70. What is it? 70.22. I think that says. Or 65.47. This gives me 3-to-1. So 69.03 is my entry point. I just color code them all that way. If I go back, I can see. I try to keep the thought process there so that I know when I go back and look at something, because obviously look at dozens of stocks a day. what was the thought process there. But now I've got a 3-to-1 risk reward, so that if this thing breaks down again and it makes a new low, then I'll be getting in at 69.03 with a target of 65.47. And look at either shorting or buying puts, whatever. Most of my swing trading I do is options.
Okay.
Day trading, I'm basically just trading stocks. So, and this is more of a day trade.
Okay.
There was also Riot was another one too. This is obviously not working out. Another Head and Shoulders, but this is obviously not playing out the way I would expect it to. Actually, tried to short it this morning. If I placed an order, at least it wasn't available short. So, which doesn't matter now because it would have never triggered anyway. So the pattern is what I'm looking for. I'm trying to see, is there a drawing tool on here?
Tell us what you saw to want to short it this morning.
That's what I was just looking for. Is there some kind of drawing tool here or not? I'll just use this.
No.
Okay, no, that's fine.
But you can draw it on the.
Yeah. Whoops. So if you're familiar with the Head and Shoulders, let me change this.
Shit.
This is I'll get rid of that.
I gotta close a trade right now.
Go for it.
Oh no,
me. I'm just
so focused on you. Shoot. Thanks, Marcus in the chat. Damn it.
Hopefully you can see this okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If I
the Head and Shoulders, obviously, and it's a very common pattern, right? I mean, I think most of us have been trading for a while, are familiar with it. But is that clear? Can you see that? Okay.
Yes.
So okay. And then basically, I mean, obviously, if you're familiar with the Head and Shoulders, then we draw the neckline. You know, the distance from here to here is the target, the expected target. So if I'm doing this, just duplicate this. And surprisingly, no surprise, actually, it comes down to that most recent support level, which is where the target is. So it's amazing to see how often these type of things happen where you find the pattern, you draw out the expected move, and it absolutely hits the target almost every time. Or at least it will. If it gets down there, it should get to that point. So
all right.
So let's see if Dropbox, and then some of the other, here's some other ones too. These are more swing trades. These are a few that I found. ADI is another Head and Shoulders. You can see that okay, I think, right? It's a little easier on the line chart. A little more familiar with this charting platform, so it's easier for me to navigate. I'm not as good on toss as I am with this. I've been using this one for 20 years. So
wait, what? This is Omega charts?
Yeah.
All right, just to update everyone on my life, I am out of Activision, so that did not work out for me. But anyway, moving on.
So ADI is another Head and Shoulders I found based on a daily chart. This would be more of a swing trade again, just setting up a very simple trading plan with the old resistance there at 160. What's that, 163 or so? Which obviously it's tagged several times, broke above it, and then it fell below it, broke below the neckline. So now we're looking for a potential drop to the downside. If it drops, we'll be looking for more. So I'd be buying puts. It's essentially
you'd be buying puts on ADI now, or you'd be buying puts on ADI if it got to 159.45.
159.45 is the entry. So if it drops off from here,
right? Okay.
So that's where, if it's close there, I'll set a contingent order to say go buy me whatever puts I'm looking at.
Okay.
And of course, being in earnings season, we have to watch that. That's one thing too. CRM is another one I like. This one comes out, I think, 8/24.
Yeah, we got some time.
So yeah, this one should be okay. But I love the looks of this. I mean, we basically have just a double top. Oh, you could call it a triple pop if you want to go back to here, but that 250 level seems to be a pretty solid resistance level. So I'm looking at a move possibly all the way down to 210. Another swing trade I'm looking at. Electronic Arts. This has got a whole bunch of craziness going on. Kind of an ascending triangle there. It's not spectacular, but it's also tried multiple times to break above that 145, 146, 148 area. It's tagged 150, but it just can't seem to break through it. So I'm looking for a potential drop down here. The original trading plan is breaking that support line, breaking this short trend line here. If it breaks below there, then I'm looking for a move to about 130.
Okay, I'm seeing that.
And then these dash lines I put, this is just like a backup trading plan. If it pops back up here to 145 and stalls out, which I think is what it was actually doing this morning. I went and looked at it briefly. I don't know where EA is. Oops, can't type. There we go. Yeah, it was first thing this morning. It popped up there a little bit.
What is your favorite time frame to use, or do you rely on several?
If I'm swing trading options daily, and if I'm day trading, just a 5-minute chart. And I'll look occasionally. I'll glance occasionally at a 30 or 60 minute, but for the most part, I just use a 5-minute chart.
Okay. 5-minute chart. I typically have used 15-minute, but I haven't used too much with 5, but start playing around with that probably.
Yeah, I bounce a little bit from back and forth, but then again, I try to keep it simple. I've tried using 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, a whole bunch of different time frames, and it doesn't seem to give you a whole lot of benefit. So I just keep it simple. Swing trades, it's a daily day trade, it's a 5-minute chart. So
what other setups we got today? What are the patterns we're watching?
JWN I love. This is a beautiful head and shoulders.
This is Nordstrom.
And yeah, it's already broken down. And then I think this is one of the things too. I think a lot of retailers are going to struggle with the amount of inflation we're having. And if it continues, especially, I think that's really going to hammer the whole sector. And the whole sector is looking pretty weak. The head and shoulders is a clear indication of reversal pattern. So, and it's broken below the neckline. It's been down below it for several months. So adjusted that, pulled the trigger on this trade right up in here somewhere as it dropped, and didn't drop very much, pulled back up. But now adjusted it to where that resistance level that's holding there at 33 or so, looking for a new potential downside move. So put the stop at 33.44. The target's 24.25. So an entry at 31.14. So I'm looking at buying puts if it gets down to 31.14, which I can't remember where that was this morning, but yeah, it's still not there. So, and that's the hard part for me. I'm not a very patient person. So drawing all these lines and sitting here waiting for it to hit drives me a little bit crazy. That's one of my biggest challenges with regard to trading is being patient. So, and there's another one, Snowflake. I love this one. Love the looks of the pattern at least. But that's the hard part. I try not to fall in love with things, because when I fall in love with things, then you get too attached to it.
Yep.
So, and that's, as you're well aware, the difficult part of trading is managing the emotions.
It's so it's that, and it's also like having a plan is one thing, but sticking to it is a whole other thing.
Exactly. That's the joke.
Anybody can make a plan, but sticking to the plan, and sometimes you really don't want to do it. Sometimes you don't want to stick to your plan. You're like, no, because I know that if I don't now, I'll pay for it later. So yeah,
exactly.
I hear you on that.
That is that's the big that's one of the reasons I do this. It's like I said, I've made all those mistakes. I've blown up accounts. I've done all the stupid things every trader can. So over
not
20+ years.
Not all of them, I'm sure. Not all of them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I can find one or two more, but I think I've covered most of them. But
what do you have a favorite pattern?
Yeah, as far as price patterns go, definitely the head and reversals. I'd say the head and shoulders. Continuations is symmetrical triangle for sure. Well, and here's why. If for those that were watching maybe aren't too familiar with patterns or don't look at them, this is one example right here. Apple is this is a beautiful symmetrical triangle.
Okay. Just
a nice consolidation pattern. It breaks out. There's a trading plan in place. This is one I threw out on my pattern of the week for folks to subscribe to my product. And it ran in 3-4 weeks. So, and it went up, hit exactly what the target was.
So on a swing trade like this, how long are you typically holding for?
Usually anywhere from a few days to a few weeks.
Okay.
Something like this, a bigger triangle like this, probably looking at a few weeks typically is what I'll project out. Because typically, generally speaking, the longer a pattern takes to form, the longer it takes to play out. So if it takes 3 or 4 months to form, it could take 3 or 4 months to play out. Typically not that long, but this is about as textbook as it gets, I think. We have a pattern that takes 3 or 4 months to form and then just 3 or 4 weeks to play out. So in the textbook world, if you will, this is pretty normal. But it doesn't very often work out like this. This is just a great example of one that did. course, there's more too. Schlumberger's one just like that a couple weeks ago. Another head and shoulders. This is why I love the head and shoulders. And there's the projected move, 538, which is measured from the neckline to the headline to the top of the head. It breaks down, dances around for a couple of days, taps the neckline, and then tanks and goes down and hits exactly where the target is, and then turns around. So this is one of the reasons I absolutely love patterns, because this happens often. Trying to think of, there was one other one. One other one that happened just beautifully the last week or two. Snowflake. We never finished this one, did we?
Did we? Let me see.
I don't know. I was in the middle of drawing a plan, and then I thought about that Apple one.
So this is you setting up how you would trade it, right? Like
correct. This is basically the plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I just set up the plan and let the plan do its thing. And I'll put alerts on something. I'll put an entry point if something's close. Like with this one, we're 273.83. Let me make that big again. It actually triggered hit it first thing this morning. So now I'm doing sitting waiting. I've got the pattern drawn out. I've got my plan in place with my stop, my target, my entry point. And now it's just waiting.
The entry is 273.83.
Correct.
This is to go long.
Yeah, I'd be looking long because we're looking at a.
And the stop loss, I can't really see that. Was at 260 something? I can't really.
Yeah, it's off the left. Let me get it to the left. This is one irritating. I wish I could move this a little easier, but we'll go to the left with it. 260.10.
Okay, so that would be your stop loss.
Yep.
Profit target 315.
Yep.
Just so everyone understands that.
Yeah, so it's very simple. I mean, like I said, I like to keep it neat and clean. I've been off in the weeds many times trying to do all kinds of crazy stuff and creating strategies and doing stuff. In 20 years, you experience a lot of crazy things and do a lot of crazy things. Back when I started in 2000, it was very different than it is today. So
yeah,
we didn't have the things that we have now. The technology that we have today and the commissions are a huge advantage, especially when you're getting started.
Hector, I don't know if you're still hanging out with us this morning, Hector, but I'm watching your Sava, man. We are coming all the way back, or we're trying to in Sava. So good call out on that. Where's that? Good call out, Hector. Seemed to like the data there. That's what I said. I said sell the rumor, buy the news. Anyway.
Yeah, I just noticed the.
Okay, Angela in chat. Angela, I'm gonna tell you what to do, Angela. Okay, email. I'll just put my email in the chat. How about that? I'll do that. Angela, email me. Okay, I'm putting my email in chat right now. Email me.
ATVI. Somebody's asking ATVIs.
That was one that was what I just got stopped out of here. So yeah, I would love your thoughts on ATVI. I should have asked it before I.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. You can see I was trading this the other day before it tanked. Let me clean this up real quick. I'm just going to start fresh. So I'm basically just keeping it simple. I'm looking for major support resistance levels. Looks like it may want to bounce there about 82.70. If that holds, that's the big question: is will it hold? If not, what's the next level?
I don't know. I sort of I singled in on yesterday's open, and then I gave myself a little bit more breathing room below 84. But I guess I should have asked you. Should have asked your opinion in hindsight before I pulled the trigger just a few minutes ago. But I don't know what you see here.
Yeah, as far as a swing trade, you look at the daily chart, I don't really see a whole lot there. I mean, as far as it's so far gone. I mean, it's so far down. Where do you go with it? And I don't like to try to catch a falling piano. So I did that the other day, and it didn't turn out well. So
falling piano, it's clever.
And as far as a 5-minute chart for a day trade. I mean, if it drops down to the 82, 72, 83 area, if it drops down there, as far as what I'd be looking for, if this drops down to 83 and starts to build a base and hold in there and give a little double bottom, maybe a triple bottom, and then start to bounce, there's a little bit right there. I mean, I don't know that. And I don't look for. I like a neat, clean entry.
Yeah.
I don't like hunting for things. Like, I mean, I could throw a little bit of a support here, but it's really stretching it. So this is one I just sit back and be patient on myself and wait for it to come down to 83 if it does. If not, then wait for it to develop some other pattern. I mean, it's what I'm looking for. So what other ones are in the chat there that we can look at?
Yeah, drop your tickers in. If you guys want Tony to take a look, drop your tickers in. Chris Wood said Wish is moving. I'm gonna look at Wish. Tilray's on the move.
Tilray.
You know what?
Well,
Let's look at Clover. Look at CLOV. This is from
CLOV.
Daniel Torres.
CLOV. Day trade, swing trade. Well, let's see. We got a 5-minute chart already. So. Well, first thing I'm going to do is throw some resistance in right about there. Kind of an ascending triangle going on. It's not. I'm going to actually move this down. I just look for the major levels, the first levels that I'm looking for. So if this breaks to the upside, this is where okay, it does look pretty solid. I mean, ascending triangle is a nice pattern. It's building a nice little base, short little uptrend here over the last day and a half, 2 days. Obviously, that trend line's good because we've hit it 4 times. Now the question is, will it break out above there or not? So ultimately, I'm looking at move that to the left. So my stop out point would be 833. Oops. Target's 867, entry point 841. For time's sake, I'm just going to skip the color in part. I'll make this one orange since up here. But so if I was looking at this for a day trade, watching this today, that's exactly what I'd be looking for is a breakout. If it breaks above that blue line, 836, which I'd go a little bit smaller position because this 841 could be a resistance again. It's possible. So I'd take less risk than normal. And then if it breaks above 841, I'd probably add to it, looking for a run for 847 or 867, excuse me.
Okay, that was Clove. Let's look at now the tickers are all flying. Let's find one that I don't look at too often. Let's look at we can look at MRIN. Marin Software. This is I don't know about this one. I don't know about MRIN.
I don't either. I know nothing about it.
From 1 to 27 to 6. Okay, this is probably a low floater. I don't know if this is your cup of tea at all. Well, what's the float on this thing? 10 million shares. This is so easy to push around.
Yeah,
I'm always cautious of that, guys. Shares with stocks with low floats because it's just so easy to manipulate, and that's just the reality. So I don't know if there's a pattern to be seen in MRIN.
I don't see anything right now.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to let's look at NEO. NEO is interesting because
NEO or NIO?
NIO, sorry, NIO.
Yeah.
Because it is trading, lower with the rest of China, but not nearly as badly. It's held up relatively well to every other Chinese stock here in the last week. So NEO is interesting here.
Yeah, this is one I've been trading, day trading.
Oh, tell us about it.
So, well, I don't know. I think it's been a couple weeks since anything hit, but we'll see. I mean, maybe this is going to pop right now. Who knows? I mean, nice little ascending triangle this morning. It jumped up, popped out. We came down and tagged that support line again. So we just confirmed it again the second time. So this is where it, for me, it's real simple. I just throw in the stop. And then target 44.49, 43.20. So there'd be an entry point. Again, for a day trade, this is a 5-minute chart. So If it breaks above there, then obviously we're making new highs over the last couple of days, and we've broken out to the upside this little bit. There's some sort of support here at that 42.93. So then looking for around to 44.49, in which what was the risk reward on that? Was I didn't remember. I didn't look at the numbers. 43 cents of risk and $1.29 of upside. So three times the reward is there is risk, and that's one thing I always do. So mainly, I mean, from an emotional standpoint, an emotional management standpoint, that's the biggest thing for me. Because if I take a 40-cent hit on this, no big deal. If I make $1.50 on another one, I don't worry about the losers. I don't care about the little 50-cent hitters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that the risk reward ratio and using at least a 3-to-1 is, in my opinion, one of the greatest emotional management tools you can use. So at least that's what works for me. So
let's do one or two more here. Let's look at. We can look at Raytheon, RTX. Didn't they just report? I think they had earnings yesterday. 99% sure. Or maybe was it this morning? No, it was Tuesday. Time flies. Their earnings were strong, and they gave good guide. They gave upbeat guidance as well. RTX.
Yeah, of course, this is a 5-minute chart. So, but I see a beautiful inverted head and shoulders. Hopefully, you can all see that. So the measure move would be right there. I'm going to go a little bit slightly lower of that. If you were looking at day trade, of course, it's already gone for the day trade. I mean, it's moved too far so far. Whoops. But if we were to go back and just, use it as a, something to look at, we'd be putting a stop there, and the target, the entry point would have been probably right about here. As far as the day trade, let's see if the daily chart gives anything that maybe a swing trade is possible. Not really see anything from a pattern perspective. And if we get up here and hit this, $90 level, again, we've got, we'd have a double top, triple top if it gets up to 90. And then it depends on whether it breaks out or not. If it doesn't break out and it drops off, I mean, the big bearish engulfing pattern right here. So if it runs back up to 90 and gives another candlestick pattern, I'd be looking for a downside trade. As far as pulling the trigger on anything right now on a swing trade, except that if we stay where we're at today, we've got a hangman forming right now, which is obviously in a bearish engulfing pattern yesterday. So you put all these clues together, right? It's kind of like being a detective. You gather all the clues and like, okay, well, there's a bearish engulfing pattern yesterday, and now we've got a hangman today so far, depending on how it closes out. But if it was to close here today, and then you have that big upper shadow from 3 days ago, where it ran up and tested that $90 level again, it's looking pretty bearish right now from what I see. So, and obviously that will depend on how we close today.
Okay. All right. Tony Benson has been on with us for the last few minutes hanging out, and we appreciate his time. Patterns in a Flash. The link is in the description of this video on YouTube. Tony, thanks a lot for coming on. Good luck with the rest of your day, rest of your week. Stay green.
Awesome. Appreciate having me.
All right. All right, guys. It's been a fun, busy morning. If you haven't already, do me a quick salad and just do that little thing that's on the screen right now and smash that like button. Thank you very much. Thanks to our guest. Thanks to Tony. Thanks to Richard. Thanks to Ryan. Thanks to Mitch. Thanks to everyone for hanging out with me. Thanks to all of you who are still with me today. We got a big slate of shows coming up later today, starting with SPAX Attack right now. We're going to be live with Rohit Makaria, as the president and COO of SES Holdings. Ticker is, I have the ticker up on my screen. IVAN is your SPAC ticker. IVAN. Is coming up next on SPAX Attack. Big show on Power Hour today, guys. We got Frank Curzio at 12:05. We got the CEO of Traeger Grills, Jeremy Andrews. Ticker is amazing. Cook, COOK. He'll be on at 12:15. The CEO of Peak FinTech. Someone was asking about this. I think it was Solar Up asking about this the other day. Ticker PKKFF. He'll be on the show at 12:30. So a big day on the SPAX Attack and the Power Hour front. I may be back for Power Hour. If not, you'll see me later in the day. I promise. But SPAC's tax starts right now. So please remember, all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Smash the like, smash subscribe. Thank you very much. SPAC's tax starts right now.